Hey everybody, BeyondDrewTV here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another habitat speed build video here in Planet Zoo. So it's been a little bit of time since we've kind of done one of these videos, but it's definitely time to jump back in and do another one. I've been wanting to do this build here for about a week or so, but the content has just kind of not lined up to kind of get it out, or I just kind of haven't had the time to really sit down and focus on the kind of build that I wanted to do there. But we're finally jumping back in here, and today we're going to go ahead and do the Great Panda. No, it's not a Great Panda. I'd say that every time. I don't know why, but I've always called Giant Pandas Great Pandas. So I mean, yeah, they are great, right? Yeah, they're great, but no, we're doing the Giant Panda, not the Great Panda. I'm just gonna call it the Great Giant Panda, and then I'll just combine every single bit of it. So anyways, yeah, we're doing the Giant Panda. And this is coming off of a recommendation from a lot of you fine folks there that watch the speed build videos. I asked in the last one with our cheetah there that, what should we do for our next build video there? And you all definitely liked the idea of the panda there. So I think it was the panda, and then the Indian rhinoceros was the next one. So maybe we'll do that after that, or after this build is done here. So we're going to do similar to the cheetah build. This is going to be a two-parter here. My habitat builds have been kind of growing in, I guess, elaborateness. Is that a word? Well, it is now. Yeah, how elaborate they are, I guess you'd say. Because it kind of just started with a singular habitat with like a saltwater crocodile build that was just kind of like a one-off, not really big or grand or anything like that. And then it's been kind of evolving since then until like the last episode where we had the cheetah build, where that was like a whole African village and, an education center and some backstage stuff. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely look at that. And I guess this video here is kind of the evolution of the habitat speed build a little bit more. So we're kind of continuing that idea of building kind of an not outdoors, but just kind of out of the habitat stuff here, where it's, this big building that we're building here isn't necessarily part of like the panda's habitat or anything like that, but it is for the guest to use and everything like that. They can walk inside of it. I might do the inside a little bit to get some education features and stuff like that. Yeah, like I said, if you saw at the beginning of the video, excuse me, I put a path in there so guests are able to walk in there. They can walk along the bridge as well. Kind of sunk a path down in there, and like I said, that big building, while it's still not directly inside of the habitat, it's still in the habitat area, and it's kind of fun if you make your I don't know if many people know this, but I'm able to save these giant blueprints and stuff like that and put them up on the workshop, with including like all of the towns and the buildings and the habitat and everything, because if you save with a habitat, you can save as many pieces in a habitat as you want to. If you don't know what I'm kind of talking about, it's with normal blueprints, you can only save up to 4,000 pieces, which seems like a lot, but it can quickly become not a lot if you're doing a very big build. So yeah, I found out that if you save anything inside of a habitat, it can save it as a blueprint with more than 4,000 pieces. So I tested this on a parking lot with 8,000 concrete pieces, and it saved it fine. The only annoying thing is that when you import it in, you will have a giant barrier. So like, you can still make it null fencing, but you'll just have to delete the null fencing if it, if you don't want it to be there still. But yeah, so that's kind of a workaround of the 4K blueprint limitation. You can just put anything inside of a habitat barrier, and it will become, and then you can save it as a blueprint. It doesn't matter how many pieces it is there. So, but yeah, for our build here, I know I haven't really talked about anything of like my influences for the design or what's going on here really, but that's going to change now, because this is kind of when the build starts. That first half of the build, I kind of I was working too closely, and I didn't see the shape that I was making this structure here, which is basically I used a reference image of I just typed in, I think, traditional Chinese architecture in Google Images, and this might have been 3, 4, 5, 6 lines down basically. And I just really liked how it looked. So yeah, just kind of building off of that, not directly, but just taking influence. But yeah, what I was talking about before, building too closely. As you can see here, I'm really zoomed in all the time and stuff like that. I need to make a habit of zooming out, because when I zoomed out about halfway through the build, I realized I was making a very vertical structure, like straight vertical. And these are tiered structures with the based on the reference image, and just kind of this. What are they called? Pagodas, right? Yeah, kind of like how the pagoda feels. It's kind of a tiered up structure. And I was making mine more like a skyscraper, and that's not how that works. So yeah, I just and again, that just ties back into I didn't zoom out enough to kind of see how the bigger picture was looking, and I was kind of too focused on the kind of smaller details there. So now you can see I keep kind of zooming out and look at how it's coming together. And I'm kind of finally starting to get that tiered look there. I really like how this turns out at the end. We have the perfect building pieces for this in game, you know, with our East Indian or East Asian theme and everything like that. So it's really, really fun to build with this. I commented this on the Bro Nation when I was sharing pictures and getting feedback, that this is the first time, I believe, maybe like one or two one-off builds, but I believe this is the first time I've really dived into doing any like Asian kind of architecture at all. And again, it's really nice that we have the kind of built-in pieces to make this work and make this work look really good and everything like that. But yeah, this is just a bit of a different kind of build style for me. You know, I'm kind of normally known for doing like a rustic kind of, I guess, feel to it, or just kind of generic traditional kind of feel. But yeah, it was just kind of nice to go outside the comfort zone and do a bit of an Asian feel to it and everything like that. So you might have noticed back before, I hope this gets fixed in the upcoming DLC/patch. We're going to talk about that some more in a second, but you may have noticed I had to close the game just a minute or two ago. There's a new little buggy little thing I noticed. I haven't seen anyone else really mention this, but after I was building in this for about, I don't know, I was probably building for 3 or 4 hours in this session here. I just kind of noticed that the grid started to just be off a little bit. And I'm not sure why that is, but I just noticed that if I restarted my game, it kind of brought the grid back on. But yeah, just after I build for a long time, I don't know if anyone else is experiencing this as well, but yeah, the grid just kind of gets off by like a little bit. But anyways, yeah, like I was saying before, hopefully that gets fixed in the upcoming big patch. If you haven't heard, we're getting a huge update/patch/DLC. A lot of fun stuff coming on the December 17th patch there. So yeah, we're getting the Arctic DLC and a big free patch as well. So yeah, hopefully we get some fixies in there for some buggies and stuff like that. But yeah, speaking of the DLC though, are you all excited for the DLC? I know it's a bit of a hot button issue the day it was released there, which would be yesterday for while I'm recording this, but a little bit of a hot button issue. Some people were, you know, overall really excited, and some people were just really not feeling it this close to release and everything like that. I'm kind of in the camp of both, where I am excited for a DLC. I'm always going to be excited for more content for these kind of games, but I can definitely understand and agree to a certain extent that it's just a little bit too soon, I think, for a DLC to come out. So well, again, I'm not objecting to the content that we're getting. We're getting, you know, again, 4 new animals, over 200 building pieces, and new foliage, and a whole bunch of other, you know, fun stuff there. And it's all for under under $10. So it's just don't get a coffee in the morning for 2 or 3 days in a row. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. But again, my only object to it is basically just the timing. I think it could have maybe held off until next spring or something like that. But you know, it's not for really me to say. That's just my opinion on the thing. But either way, I'm excited for the Arctic pack to come out and to dive into it. And we're definitely gonna be diving into it on the channel here. And we're gonna be able to add the polar bear and what else? The polar bear and I think the sheep right away to Thornton Hills Zoo. And then we'll be able to do some habitat builds, maybe with like the wolves and just some of the other animal that we get to. I can't remember the other animal off the top of my head, but anyways, yeah, we'll have a lot of fun with the Arctic pack and taking a look at what comes with that and what's going to come with the free update and everything like that. So but yeah, for the most part here, we're kind of getting close to the end of our first part of our build here. And yeah, again, just kind of a lot of the time was taken just kind of redoing a lot of stuff. This is probably about the second or third iteration of this build that I did. And again, it just kind of harks back to I haven't really done a build like this, and I just really wanted to kind of get it as right as I could while doing it and everything like that. So yeah, this first half of the video, like I said, we're just kind of tackling the general outlying buildings here. These are just pretty buildings. Again, they're not directly in the habitat, but they're nice to look at, nice for the guests to kind of walk around and stuff. And then we kind of set up our habitat as well near the end of the video. Just the tail end, we get the habitat kind of started there, kind of going a little bit, and you kind of get an idea of what we're going to do for the habitat, at least the general outline. And we're kind of going to be looking to make it pretty hilly, pretty mountainous kind of a little bit. Where I was looking into their natural habitat, and pandas are known just to live up in the mountains of, I think it's either western or central China. But yeah, no, they love the tall hills, the tall mountains, hanging out up there all day, eating bamboo and everything. So I kind of wanted to mimic that pretty closely. So yeah, I did a lot of terrain changes. A lot of train, lifting the train up and trying to get some peaks and stuff while still being able to get the pandas to climb up the hills and rocks and everything like that, because it can be a little bit touchy. So going back and forth between the traversable heat map and seeing that they can do it. So, but yeah, no, other than that, the video is pretty well coming to a close. The next video, we're going to go ahead and detail this little area right there that we were just working on, that little courtyard. We're going to detail that. I want to try and make that a sort of traditional Chinese garden, I guess you'd say. I wish we had willow trees, because willow trees seem to be a big staple of the gardens that I looked into for my reference images, and we don't have it. I mean, I'm sure we can make it, but we'll see. But yeah, we want to do a garden there, and then we're gonna go ahead and finish out doing the habitat there. So yeah, hey, thanks so much everyone for hanging out there. Like I said, there's only about another minute or so left of the video, so go ahead and leave it there. And yeah, hey, thanks so much for watching there. Keep an eye out for the second video coming in the next few short days there. If this is your first time hanging out, don't forget, hit that subscribe button so you get notifications about when new Planet Zoo videos come out and everything like that. And yeah, if you've made it this far, don't forget, hit that like button. Helps out the video a lot, helps out the channel get more exposure and everything like that. And yeah, really appreciate it. So thanks so much everyone. Until the next video, have a good one.